this isn't just a train ride. It's the best way to travel between Oklahoma City and Fort Worth.
Amtrak just made a huge Heartland Flyer statement, and it couldn't come at a more critical moment. Through its windows, the Southern Plains glide past, rolling hills, golden fields, and towns that feel frozen in time. For riders, the Flyer is more than a train. It's a moving heartbeat that ties communities together. Yet despite strong ridership, the future of this beloved service is fragile, hanging by a thin thread. On today's Great Trainspeed, we're uncovering what's at stake and what this moment really means for the Heartland. The Amtrak Heartland Flyer is more than just a train. It's a daily lifeline linking Oklahoma City and Fort Worth across 206 miles of the Southern Plains. Since its first run in 1999, more than 1.7 million passengers have boarded, showing that even in a car-dominated region, the comfort and convenience of rail remain in demand. The journey takes just under 5 hours, where riders enjoy views of open fields, rivers, and wildlife. For families, students, and casual travelers alike, the Flyer is both a practical connection and a memorable experience. Ridership has climbed steadily. Amtrak's 2024 report confirmed year-over-year gains, and momentum accelerated in 2025. Monthly boardings rose from 51,300 in May to 59,600 in June, then surged to 67,900 in July. These figures reflect stronger regional ties, improved reliability, and a growing appetite for intercity rail. Yet success does not guarantee security. Texas lawmakers recently cut all state funding from the upcoming budget, even though Texas contributes less than half of the Flyer's $2.5 million operating cost, with Oklahoma covering the rest. That contribution has not grown in more than a decade. This decision runs counter to a Texas A&M Transportation Institute study showing the train returns over $5 in local benefits for every $1 invested. Without renewed support, the Flyer could be forced to shut down. To prevent that outcome, Texas DOT has requested more than $1 million in general revenue for fiscal year 2026 and fiscal year 2027. The request covers two areas: a 4% inflationary rise in operating costs and Texas's 43.2% share of capital improvements, including the replacement of aging diesel locomotives. Beyond the numbers, the Flyer offers much more. It provides a sustainable alternative to I-35 traffic, eases congestion, lowers emissions, and serves communities without major airports. Amtrak has also identified the route as a foundation for future extensions, potentially weaving the Southern Plains more deeply into the national rail network. Still, Texas's dependence on general revenue, since highway funds are constitutionally limited to roads, makes the service's future fragile. Without these supplemental funds, the state risks undermining its partnership with Amtrak, placing a proven and popular service in jeopardy. Fortunately, the Amtrak Heartland Flyer secured an important lifeline. Amtrak Executive Vice President Jennifer Mitchell announced that Texas leaders, through the Texas Transportation Commission, have approved the state's share of funding of $3.5 million in partnership with the North Central Texas Council of Governments and its Regional Transportation Council. For a service that has often faced uncertainty over state support, this marks a significant step forward. Mitchell expressed her thanks on behalf of Amtrak passengers, noting that riders who depend on the Flyer for daily travel can now count on continued service. She also reaffirmed Amtrak's commitment to working with relevant partners toward a long-term funding solution, a key priority for a route jointly supported by Texas and Oklahoma. The announcement also comes with tradition. Amtrak confirmed that the Flyer will once again transport fans to the annual Red River rivalry between the University of Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners on October 11th at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. On that day, the train will become once again more than just transportation. It turns into a rolling celebration filled with team colors, excitement, and the energy of one of college football's biggest events.
It's the memories that you make, the people that you meet.
At least for another year, the Heartland Flyer is secure. but questions remain about sustainable, long-term funding. The 206-mile corridor has already proven its value with rising ridership, economic impact, and strong community traditions. The challenge ahead is ensuring that this progress continues. So what do you think? Does this signal lasting stability for the Heartland Flyer, or is it only a short-term fix? Drop a 1 if you're optimistic, or a 0 if you remain skeptical. Amtrak is making it clear that the Heartland Flyer is a part of a bigger story. On the busy Northeast Corridor, the railroad has launched an ambitious wave of rail yard modernization in Boston, New York, and Washington, D.C. Projects designed to prepare the backbone of its network for the arrival of the new Aero and next-gen Acela trains later this decade. These upgrades include design-build contracts and major pre-construction work to bring maintenance facilities up to world-class standards by 2030. Amtrak President Roger Harris emphasized that with record ridership and revenue, such investments are essential for more reliable operations and a better passenger experience. Yards may be behind the scenes, but their impact is visible in faster train turnarounds, safer facilities, and smoother journeys for millions. In Boston's Southampton Yard, plans call for a new 2-track maintenance building and a repurposed service and cleaning facility to handle both Acela and long-distance trains. At New York's Sunnyside Yard, improvements will feature a modern inspection building, 6 covered service tracks, and refurbished platforms, combined with reconfigured interlockings to reduce congestion. In Washington's Ivy City Yard, new service tracks, renovated shops, and upgraded water infrastructure will support trains running the full length of the East Coast. Similar projects are already underway in Philadelphia and Seattle, with work planned in Rensselaer, Albany. Together, these investments signal Amtrak's long-term commitment to a new era of passenger rail, one where cutting-edge trains are supported by the critical infrastructure that keeps them running day after day. Meanwhile, in the Southeast, the Atlanta Regional Commission, ARC, and the City of Atlanta have launched a major study to identify a new home for Amtrak service. Today, passengers rely on Brookwood Station, a historic 1918 facility on Peachtree Road that is cramped, distant from MARTA connections, and not ADA compliant. Despite these challenges, nearly 78,000 passengers use the station annually on the Crescent, which links New Orleans, Atlanta, Washington, and New York. It begins with a hefty investment. The Commission has stepped in with $500,000, covering the bulk of a $625,000 study. The city itself will make up the difference. To lead the effort, engineering firm has been brought on board, while other parties taking charge of making sure the community has a voice. Right now, neighbors and residents are filling out surveys, and by October, those responses will be in. Soon after, local stakeholders will gather to weigh in on potential sites. A first draft of recommendations is expected later this fall, followed by a public meeting in December where everyone will finally see what's on the table. From the Southern Plains to the Northeast Corridor in the Southeast, Amtrak is signaling a new chapter for American passenger rail. Each project carries its own challenges, but together they point toward the same goal: building a rail network that is more reliable, more connected, and ready for the future. That's the last stop for today's journey. Thanks for riding along with us.